Hi, Miss Koya. I'm going to do another video review on my first video review on Frozen. So after Anna's Foolish Plus and during Anna and Elsa's childhood while they're playing, Anna seriously hurts herself to a point of almost dying and brought back to life from the trolls. The trolls decides to wipe Anna's memory of all memories involving Elsa and Anna together. Yet when as she grows up, she continually remembers that her and Elsa were best friends, and the parents completely support this decision of the trolls because they really don't care about Elsa's feelings, feels like. And can I eat fast, Dad?
I'm not eating yet, honey.
And so, throughout the years, Elsa shuts Anna out and tells us to shut Anna out throughout the rest of the year until they're adults. So basically, throughout the entire childhood that they had, Anna kept on getting shut out by Elsa, while Anna was reaching out to Elsa to play, to build a snowman. But she also doesn't have to be a snowman. It can be anything you want. She just wants to hang out with her big sister. So one day they're reunited, but it's kind of awkward seeing them together because you're not really sure how much they care about each other. And she falls in love with this guy, and Elsa says you can't marry someone you just met. And Anna snaps at Elsa, and her secret is out that she has frozen superpowers. And she goes to live in this frozen castle while singing a song called Let It Go. And the whole song is about saying, fuck my parents, fuck their rules, I'm going to do what I want. So really, it's not a lesbian song like some Frozen fans think. It's about being your own woman. It is literally the most independent women-empowered song, and also the catchiest women-empowered song I have ever heard in my life. But personally, I like the song Do You Want to Build a Snowman? Do you want to build a snowman? That Elsa sings to Anna throughout their childhood. I just wish there was some closure to that song because the whole thing ends on a tragic cliffhanger because we see them later on reunite each other, but the only comment is that they like chocolate. But other than that, they really don't have a whole lot in common because they barely say anything to each other. So Anna goes to reach out to Elsa, and what does Elsa do? Shut Anna out again. And then freeze Anna half to death. While the prince that she is in love with, Anna is in love with, is taking care of the kingdom, making sure everyone's warm. But suddenly in the third act, he's the bad guy, never loved Anna. Only you wanted to use her to get power, to be king. And then Anna saves Elsa's life, and she gets frozen completely to death by saving Elsa's life. she gets frozen alive literally by saving her big sister's life. And her big sister, Elsa, brings her back through the power of, well, barely developed love. And they live happily ever after. No, there's not more to the story. I'd say I like this less than Pinocchio. The Disney's Pinocchio. Yes, before I saw this I thought that was the worst Disney flick. But no, I think this is. How's that? Was I on par with that one?
I like that one, yeah.
Yeah, so I do not recommend you watch this. I give it a thumbs down. This is very disapproval rating. But there is a good but. The rest of the franchise is pretty solid. Which is saying that it started off for such a rocky start because the focus and the heart of the film should be focused on the heart of the film, Elsa and Anna's relationship together. But it barely focuses on that. Well, they focus on for a good chunk of the film. In the first act when they're kids and growing up together. But after that, they don't really focus on that. And we don't really... Can you not eat fast?
No.
And they don't really focus on Elsa thinking about Anna all the time. After that montage of Do You Want to Build a Snowman? And which is sad because I think there seems to me the only reason why people like this film is Olaf. Olaf should be the reason what I don't see, why Olaf? Olaf is used as a character instead of being using him as a tool to bring Anna and Elsa together. Which is not a good thing. It should be the other way around. Sure, they can give her as much personality, the same amount of personality as they wanted. But it should also, for the first one at least, it should be as a tool to bring Anna and Elsa together. To reunite their friendship. What do you think?
I agree.
Okay. The color grading is nice and the animation is nice. And the characters are like, they don't feel relatable. Except for Olaf. And that's my thoughts on Frozen. The first one.